Hello internet people and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be discussing Rise of the Ronin. We recently got a new trailer for Rise of the Ronin, going over the gameplay overview, and I'm here to react to that with you guys, and then we're going to be looking at the PlayStation blog to see what they had to say. So, Koei Techno, people who make Dynasty Warriors. Fun fact, the game is made by Team Ninja, which is a good development studio, but Ninja Gaiden 3 really left me some kind of way, so I'm a little hesitant about Rise of the Ronin, but I am optimistic.
本作の舞台の一つ、横浜です。19
Right off the bat, the graphics kind of look like ending of PS4, beginning of PS5 era, but this is an open world game, so if the gameplay in the world is interesting enough, the graphics don't really bother me, to be honest.
世紀幕末の時代、最初に国外に開かれた横浜では、和と洋が入り混じった独特の街並みが広がっています。主人公は鍵な
Oh, okay, cool. So let's take a second to go back. You can, like, grappling hook pretty much wherever you want, and certain grappling points have this icon which will allow you to go straight into, like, your flying mode, right? And it seems like they're really pushing traversal in this game, which a lot of open world games are not doing. I feel like traversing in most open world games is fairly boring. I understand that back on the PS4 time, you couldn't have a massive open world game and have the player travel at insane speeds because the PS4 could not render the next area fast enough. However, with the PS5, this is no longer an issue. So I'm looking forward to seeing what other traversal mechanics are going to be available to us, and just how fast am I going to be able to traverse through the world. That's important to me because I don't want it to take like half an hour for me to get from one area to the next.
主人公は鍵縄を使って屋根の上に登ったり、装置アビキルを使って高所から滑空し上空を移動することも可能です。
Okay, so there's going to be landmarks we visit. I really hope they're not going to make us do a bunch of tower like reveal missions and stuff like in Assassin's Creed. We get it, okay? It's done. I'm good. I don't need to do the tower thing anymore. Alright, so we're going into combat. The opponent seems like he's dual-wielding katanas. And I would not be surprised if any weapon you see the enemy use is probably going to be a weapon available to the player as well.
ガードを駆使しながら敵の攻撃を石火で弾いて体勢を崩すことも。
So, the enemy had like a red aura on him just a second ago.
攻撃やガードを駆使し
Boom, that red aura, I'm guessing those attacks have to be parried exclusively, right? I'm guessing that if you block, it's probably going to be like a guard breaker, and parrying those red attacks is probably the best way to break your enemy's posture. Because you do have a posture meter just like in Sekiro. Thank you From Software for giving us the posture meter, because too many games don't have posture but don't give you that posture meter. Appreciated. Thank you.
しながら敵の攻撃を石火で弾いて体勢を崩すことも可能です。敵の武器と相性
And also when the enemy is staggered, it opens them up for a grapple attack. Either I guess to bring them in or to pull you close. I hope you have the option to choose.
の遺留派を選ぶと戦いを有利に進めることができます。
There is no minimap, but you do have a compass. Red, I'm assuming, means you're in enemy territory. And let's take a second look at the HUD. So you do have quick items, and you can have up to 3. 3 sets of 4, so in total 12 quick items. And you do have 2 melee weapons, and you can also carry 2 long-ranged weapons over here. Bam, bam. So you probably click like R1 and then up to switch weapons, melee weapons, and then R1 down for your long range, and then probably R1 left and right to switch whichever panel you want. R1, R2, I don't know what it's going to be, but it's probably going to be one of the shoulder buttons. Okay, so you can pull enemies towards you. It's a fairly large humanoid over there. Interesting, you can actually grapple the barrels. Red barrel means explosion, obviously. And this humanoid over here, the giant, with his moveset, I'm going to assume that we're not only going to be fighting humans by the end of the game. By the end of the game, we might end up fighting some type of yokai or oni, something of that matter. Because this dude is clearly a freak of nature, right? In Japan, show me a 7-foot Japanese person. Go ahead, I'll wait. Didn't think so. Yeah. So I'm fairly certain by the end of the game, we're going to end up in some type of mystical or, like, you know, evil enemies types. Interesting. Little thing about the HUD over here. The sword has a meter that's full. I just noticed that. So perhaps like once you fill the meter, that unlocks a special move. That could be pretty cool.
戦闘では日本刀や長槍以外にも海外からもたらされた単銃などさまざまな武器が使用できます。
And we just changed weapons into the spear
発明家である伊賀七と因縁を
during combat. Let's look at that one more time.
さまざまな戦闘では
So we have the sword over here, and then
戦闘で
presses a button, opens up a menu.
戦闘では日本刀や長槍以
Switches
外にも
weapons, and as
海
he
外からも
attacks,
た
the
ら
bar
され
fills
た単
up.
銃などさまざまな武器が
And then it seems like the finishing move that he's doing right now is what's going to consume the bar.
使用できます。
Didn't kill the enemy, but did quite a bit of damage. Maybe it's going to consider like a grapple move or something like that.
発明家である伊賀七と因縁を深めるとさまざまな
Oh, look at this. In the melee section, you have what seems to be like a musket or something of the sort, and a bow. I'm guessing we're going to have the option to do like a full ranged build.
からくり装置を入手できます。トリビ砲は伊賀七が作ったからくりで現代の火炎放射器のような強力な遠隔武器です。
So you do have
トリ
flamethrowers.
ビ砲や和洋折衷のアクションである銃
And you can parry with your ranged weapon. I'm guessing that there are going to be some ranged weapons that are going to fit into the melee category, and some ranged weapons that are going to be purely melee, purely ranged. Like I don't see anybody deflecting anything with a shuriken, right? Hell, we are going to have the option to go full range build. It seems like we're going to be getting a lot of freedom to build our character how we want. I don't know. I am hoping that there is going to be character customization.
銃剣など西洋の技術を生かした武器をうまく活用すれば標的にも打ち勝つことができるのでぜひマスターしてください。
And you can have
幕末を
party members with you. You have 2 party members over here. It'd be pretty. I don't know. Is there multiplayer in this? I don't know if there's multiplayer. It'd be pretty interesting if there was. If you could have like optional multiplayer for story mode, that'd be pretty
生きる人物たちと紡いだ因縁が物語に大きく影響します。
Okay, so it did say that depending on your actions will dictate how the story unfolds. Now, I don't think this is going to be a heavily narrated story-driven game. I don't think that we're going to be getting choices regularly, and depending on our answers, it's going to change the story. I think depending on how we complete the mission and who we kill or who we decide to spare is what's going to be affecting the end game. But, you know, let's see if I'm right or wrong.
ぜひライズ・オブ・ザ・ローニンで一人の浪人として運命を切り開いてください。
So if you guys look over here, we have a giant Odachi right over here that can be picked up with the grappling hook. Now, is this going to be a weapon that's going to get added to your arsenal? I don't think so. I think that some enemies are probably going to drop their oversized weapons. You can grapple to the weapon, maybe use like a super strong attack, or the weapon will have a certain amount of durability for how long you can use it. That is to be seen, but I don't think this is how you collect weapons. This is probably like a limited use Odachi that you're finding on the battlefield. And you can use your gun to interrupt people. So it seems like you can seamlessly transition between your firearm and your melee weapon, which is just going to open up the door for so much build variety, and I'm looking forward to this. I'm a little scared because this game looks like I could dump easy 100 hours in there, and I have a job and a fiance, so I've got like other stuff to do, but I am still excited for it. Interesting weapon. A squad of 4. You can customize your little aviation thing. Rise up, Forge Your Fate, March 22nd, 2024. That's soon. Game's coming out soon, guys. Very exciting. So let's just take a quick look at the PlayStation blogs post. Fighting like a Ronin, a variety of weapons are available for battling your enemies. In addition to Team Ninja's signature swordplay, you can wield Japanese spears and a range of firearms, including foreign pistols. That's probably like the flamethrower. Hybrid Japanese Western weapons are also options. Use a flamethrower like the fire pipe to roast groups and ignite flammable barrels, or wield the bayonet to deflect blades and counter rifles blast. So, like I said, there are going to be some weapons that can be used as, there are going to be some ranged weapons that can be used as melee, but not all of them. Choosing your combat style and keeping your enemy's armament in mind is key to gaining advantages in battle. This feels like they're going to regularly encourage us to change up our build depending on the enemy we fight, and you know what? Yeah, I don't want to get comfortable in a build too fast in the game, because then it just gets boring. As Team Ninja fans know, timing is key in melee combat. The new trailer showcases a heated battle between the swordsmen, where stance selection. So there are going to be stances in the game. Blocking and timed parries are critical to defeating your foe. That much we could have seen. You can also wield a versatile grappling rope to pull distant enemies in during fights, or perform a stealthy takedown on an unaware sentry. Players can also use the rope to launch themselves toward foes and close the gap. So you can bring them in and you can launch yourself towards them, which is something you couldn't do in Sekiro, and I like that they're bringing this here in Rise of the Ronin. Player choice, there we go. This is what I'm actually interested in. In addition to choices of combat and traversal styles, players can also impact Rise of the Ronin's world with their actions during story missions. Called it. Boom. At one point in the new trailer, we see the players choose to help characters named Iga Sichi fight a group of hostile guards. This choice helps establish a bond between these characters, lets players get to know Igashaki more deeply, and unlock other game features. This is probably more missions and maybe like more weapons and maybe a mount or something like that. Or maybe accessories, clothing. You'll be able to make these choices with additional characters such as Ryoma Sokomato, It's really close to Ryum and Sakura, highlighted in a previous trailer. Who you choose to develop a relationship with impact how the story unfolds. However, there is no disadvantage to bonding with characters at the expense of another. Interesting. Considered even more variety for your next playthrough. Very well. We can't wait for everyone to immerse themselves in this world inspired by compelling times in Japanese history embodied by Ronin and forge your fate starting March 22nd, 2024. Alright, well that's pretty much it that I have on Rise of the Ronin. I'm pretty excited for this. This is probably going to be a day one purchase for me. I'll buy it and review it so that you guys don't have to. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. While you're down there, be sure to like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And if you don't, well remember, at the end of the day, I'm just some guy on the internet, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.